Dude, I hope we get to a long term as well. And I'm curious to really see how it plays out with a lot of these governments. And the reason I say that is when you look at the marketing ecosystem right now, or let's actually go back, the marketing ecosystem like 10 years ago, you mainly had just two main players. You had Google and then you had Meta, right? I know Meta back then was not called Meta, but same thing. And if you look now, you have Google, you have Meta, you have OpenAI, you have what is it called? TikTok, you have LinkedIn, and a lot of these smaller platforms have been growing, like the LinkedIn's, the Reddits. And even though they're smaller, you kind of have to be on them because they have data deals with some of the other players like OpenAI and Google. So if you're not on the smaller channels, you don't do as well on the bigger channels. But because of monopolistic rules, you're seeing more and more separate platforms, and you're not seeing like a Google early on being like, Perplexity is great. Let's just go buy it for $10 billion. Like you're seeing the market becoming more and more fragmented. And even with search, it's it's people don't just use OpenAI or Claude. They also still use Google. And people, I remember the VCs being like, "Oh, this is going to kill Google. Google is dead." Google hasn't died. It's potentially the most profitable or the biggest company by market cap. Wall Street's been betting in the next week or so they're going to actually be bigger than Nvidia. We'll see if that happens. But Google's actually been growing in popularity, and I haven't seen people being like, "Oh, I don't use OpenAI. Google gives me everything." People just use multiple platforms, just like they use multiple social networks.
Yeah. By the way, when I use Google now, so I do often click on AI mode. So I do often switch to AI mode very quickly just to ask follow up questions. And I think they made it work for them. Like initially, I was skeptical that AI mode would work. They made it work. And by the way, searches are continuing to grow still. And their AI usage is continuing to go up. I just think there's going to be more and more demand. We've talked about this concept before, known as Jevons Paradox. When something becomes available and abundantly available, people actually use it more and more. Electricity, for example, or electricity then led to compounding of flight, and that electricity led to the air conditioner, right? Like there's all these things that we use. We're going to find a lot more use cases with infinite intelligence. We just don't know what it looks like yet, and that's what Neil's talking about. We're excited because we don't know what the world's going to look like, but when you have infinite intelligence, man, is it exciting, because the things that we were constrained by before, it's no longer constrained. And if you enjoy this piece of content, we have more on AI, business, and marketing. All you have to do is just go to singlegrain.com/newsletter to subscribe. And it's absolutely free. Again, singlegrain.com/newsletter. And we'll see you on the other side.